All right, guys, we're gonna just have a nice, chill Kenner Star Wars cleanup stream. And if you want to ask any questions in general, then go ahead and do it. I've got a laptop set up right behind the phone here. So that's what we're gonna do. And as always, we have certain tools we need to clean up the vintage toys. We've got the Dawn non-concentrated Simply Clean dish soap. It has to be this. It doesn't have a lot of the additives and abrasives that some of the other dish soaps have. A nice soft bristle toothbrush, and then a nice fresh microfiber towel. A nice new one for every toy that you do. It's okay to clean them and reuse them, but you want to make sure that it's new. And what are we going to work on today? We're going to work on Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. This is my original from when I was a kid. I don't have the canopy. I have to figure out what to do about that. I don't like to go the repro route, so I'm going to have to figure something out. You've got the panels here. I have all the original stickers up in the attic, so I'll just have to find a way to reapply them with glue or something. So this is mainly to knock off all the dust and grime that's built up on them over the years. Something I've done with a lot of different toys, especially the figures. I must have cleaned 50 or 60 figures over the last 5 years when I started getting back into my vintage Star Wars and wanting to display them. So one cool feature of this toy is you press down on these and then the wings would fly off. Let's see if it still works here. Wow. It's quite a spring, isn't it? Start with the easiest first, those little pylons. So we'll wet them down. It's always a good start. Don't brush your teeth with this after you're done with it, obviously. There's a lot more grime on these than you guys think when you've been storing them, even out in the open, even if they're not like in an attic, if you've got them in your bedroom or whatever it is, like over years, dust settles on them and then moisture can settle on them. And then you've got this nasty, sticky grime stuff. So it's important to get that out and set it off to the side and kind of just let that eat away. Okay, so let those sit and we can move on to the wings here. Get a little bit more water on that. Maybe this one, once it's nice and clean and ready to display, it can go on the shelf behind me during live streams. This wouldn't be a bad one to display. Right now, I've got the box to the Interceptor. Bought that off of a good friend years ago. I think I told you guys about that. This will also help the stickers for the wing panels I have upstairs adhere better later on. Now this is a pain. This is a lot of dust right here. Knock as much of it as we can off. Let's get some more soap here. It's good to have a room like this to do it in, where you could just make a mess, then clean it up later. If you don't have time to clean it up, no big deal. Just shut the door to the mudroom. Anytime there are cracks and crevices, brush in the direction of those crevices. So you guys know what today is, right? In Star Wars history, it's the anniversary, 25th anniversary of the release of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Were you guys there on opening day? I was. Could get a ticket pretty easily, to be quite honest. Started a new job about 3 months before, so I took a day off. I don't think I saw the first showing. I probably saw it was around the 6 o'clock showing. And then I probably saw it on maybe 4 repeat viewings over the following summer. So went out to dinner afterward and had a lot to talk about. So let that one soak as well. Let's go ahead and knock the dust off this one with water first. In the chat, we've got Iron Inquisitor, Darth Prime, Chuck, member of the channel, and then George Lucas. On the 25th anniversary of The Phantom Menace, we have George Lucas in the chat, guys. That's awesome. You guys have never read it? Read the Phantom Menace novelization. There's a lot of extra information in them that you didn't get in the films. I mean, historical Star Wars information going into Darth Bane and the history of the Sith, the Rule of Two, all that stuff. Terry Brooks was authorized by George Lucas. In fact, George gave him the background to put in there. So it's interesting that Disney Lucasfilm now considers the novelizations legends. Those were G canon, man. The novelizations were G canon, are G canon to us real Star Wars fans. This one is extremely filthy, so I'm going to keep going on it. Yep, had this TIE Fighter, Darth Vader TIE Fighter, Advanced X1 since I was probably 4 years old. So it's 4 decades old at least. It's disgusting. You can see like how the soap suds are brown. Okay, so let's let that one sit. Go ahead and rinse these pylons off. lay out the microfiber towel. Rinse off the wings. Squeaky clean. It's like scratching in a rap song. I mean, you can tell the difference already, guys. So much cleaner and squeaky cleaner. I mean, look at that disgusting dirt right there. Somebody didn't put any paper towels back in the room, so I have to wipe that up later. We've got Mike Cassius in the house. Is that Vader's TIE fighter? Yes, it is. Now we got to move on to the ball cockpit, which is disgusting. When I was a kid, apparently I painted something on the viewport there. You see that? And battery cover's missing. The canopy lid is missing. So I'll have to buy those. But if you buy them by piece, you're talking like 30, 40 bucks because those guys know that they have parts you need. You may as well just buy the entire TIE fighter. Jordan France is in now saying howdy doody, Tim, because guess what, guys? We say howdy here. I've been reading some more classic, easy books. I've been reading Dynasty of Evil. Hope you have a fantastic day. May the force be with you, brother. Well, yeah, if you go into that with Darth Bane, like I said, the Phantom Menace novelization is the first mention of Darth Bane. And it goes into the history of the Rule of Two and all that stuff. So make sure you read the Phantom Menace novelization this month in the 25th anniversary of the movie. Darth Prime says 20th anniversary of Revenge. That's correct. Yep, we're moving along in Star Wars history. Makes you feel really old. In just a couple of years here, 3 years from, what is it, next Saturday, it'll be the 50th anniversary of Star Wars. So 1977 to 2027. Now that makes me feel really old, but it is what it is. We're going to turn this on really low here. In fact, before I do that, set these aside because I'm going to use a technique here. I'm going to fold this up like this, put it on low. Lowest setting I can get with the sprinkle. I want to go like this, soak some of that up. The battery surfaces aren't too bad, but I don't want to cause any more rust, so I'll dry it up as soon as it gets wet. Do that last. Kind of keep it facing this way so all the water goes out at the bottom on the opposite side of the battery compartment. Turn that up a little bit here. Just disgusting dirt. So what I'll do is I'll bunch it up and stick it in there. And the thing about that microfiber towel, they're really absorbent. Let it sit there for a minute. We got sun here if we need it to help dry it out. All right, now you can see a wire right there. See that red wire? It's crazy how we have advanced in electronics and stuff. Because all these Star Wars toys, like the Falcon and TIE Fighter, they just made like a buzzing sound. And then by the Power of the Force 2 line in the 90s, they could make all kinds of like realistic sounds in the same sized toy. So it's pretty crazy. Just in 15, 20 years, how much they advanced with electronics. That's all about the exponential advancement of technology. I don't know if the singularity is going to happen. It's definitely not going to happen in 2035 or 2032, like they originally said. But the way we're heading, all these people putting faith in AI, it could happen sooner and later. See, anytime you have those ridges, go in the direction that they are. You got a lot of yellowing on that canopy. It can be caused by the sun. That's why in my studio, not only do I have blinds, but I also tinted the windows myself, bought some tint. It's kind of a bitch to put on, but once it was on, it was on. And it blocks almost all ultraviolet light. But I keep the blinds closed most of the time anyway, so I kind of have double protection. Lots of cracks and crevices here. That's why you use the toothbrush, right? We're going to avoid the battery department with the brush. Now we go to the inside. There is a sticker on the inside with the controls. We'll just dry that off as soon as possible. All right. And you know Disney, Lucasfilm is going to milk the Revenge of the Sith thing. They'll have Hayden on hand. Because you know Natalie Portman, for Phantom Menace, she's not a person that wants to get involved in that. She wasn't involved in it. But you know Hayden, the way he's been acting, he'll get involved. They'll make a huge event out of that, milk the shit out of it. Because they know their shit isn't selling, their shit isn't liked. High Republic, the Acolyte, even the Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, all that shit. Nobody likes it. So they try to milk all the classic stuff to keep some fans around, to generate some revenue. And sadly, it's working because people are buying into it, that they actually care about that, even though at every step they're trying to undo George's work. Like, oh, this Dave Filoni story fixes the Phantom Menace. Well, the Phantom Menace or any of the prequels don't need to be fixed. And no episode of the Clone Wars fixed anything. Or Ahsoka. Or whatever it is. None of that shit fixed anything. see, this is what we'll do on the inside here. Mike says, doesn't really say anything about Star Wars. I remember she said years ago she doesn't let her kid watch. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, she's a little bit of a nut job, to be honest. She's kind of a weirdo. I mean, look at the life she had, right, as a preteen and a teen. She had an odd life in Hollywood, and it probably fucked her up. DVS Lord, who cast the See Invisibility spell on Friday night, is doing yard work, but he's good enough to swing by. What's up, DVS Lord? Member of the channel. Get a good grip when you're doing that so it doesn't fly out of your hand. All right, pretty dry. So now what you want to do is you want to lay them out to dry. We'll do it this way, tilt it back. These have holes, so we'll lay them down where the water runs out. And then the wings kind of are what they are, but do them like this. And then, like I said, next step will be to get some kind of glue or something that I can apply the graphic stickers to the wings that appear to be the solar panels. So I can get that done. And then look into how much a lid will be for the canopy and the battery compartment. But again, if you buy those Repro, I'm not really a big fan of Repro, but I could justify it in my mind by saying I'm never going to resell this because it is an ethical thing to try to pass off the sale of a toy when it has repro parts to it, or a gun for a or a lightsaber for a figure. But if I'm only buying the repro part to display, then it's not that big of a deal. But I'm still not big on it. So if I can find at a good price covers for those two compartments, then I'll probably buy them. I want to get the studio completely displayed. I've been in the house 18 months, still not done displaying stuff. It's freaking crazy. Darth Prime says, remember during AOT C20th anniversary panel that Natalie was with Hayden. Yeah, and I think that was a surprise. Or she wasn't. I can't see because of that stupid fucking heart. But we did cover that on the spacing almost exactly 2 years ago. Not a lot of people were talking about the anniversary. But I highly doubt she was on there. If she was, it was a huge surprise. I don't remember her being on there. But yeah, guys, that's how you clean up vintage toys, whether it's Star Wars or anything else. You got the simple dish soap, in this case, the Dawn Simply Clean, not a lot of additives. It's non-concentrated, a nice soft, if you can get extra soft bristle toothbrush, and then the toy and a microfiber towel, and just kind of take your time and brush it, wipe it off, dry it, do it a second time if it's that filthy and grimy. And then once it's all dried up, then you can put it back together, reapply stickers that might have fallen off, or if you have to buy repro of those, it's more common than the parts because there's no way you're going to find the stickers, like original stickers out there. If you do, the price would be astronomical. And a lot of these stickers came pre-applied, so it's not like stickers only are available. You may as well just buy the entire toy in better condition. So that's about it. Thanks for swinging by, guys, and have a great rest of the weekend. PBS, Lord, get that yard work done, buddy. Have a good one.